Good morning, students. Today, we are going to learn about protein-protein interactions. So, what is protein? Proteins are a complex molecule that is present in the living system's body. Protein functions. Protein controls various metabolic pathways, metabolic functions that occurs in everyday life in a living system. So, proteins are made up of amino acids, a large chain of amino acids. We all know that amino acids synthesized from RNA. RNA is synthesized from DNA. So protein-protein interaction plays a very vital role in living system. Why it is important to learn the protein-protein interaction? Because protein-protein interaction helps in carry forwarding various metabolic process in the living system through which life sustains. What is basically a protein-protein interaction? Protein-protein interaction is when two or more proteins, they bind together and give signals to carry out certain biological activities by the cell. This protein-protein interaction also gives us ideas about different metabolic and signaling transaction pathways. Like if my body is trying to secrete glucose, want to secrete glucose, how it will secrete? So something should come and tell the body, that tell the cell that okay, you have to secrete glucose because the body needs it. How it will happen? This will happen through the protein-protein interaction. Studying this protein-protein interaction also give us ideas about the drug transporters, drug receptors, and drug targets. Something, if I trying to send from Bhubaneswar to Chennai, how I will send? I will send for some transporters like truck, bus, or ship. So if I'm taking the medicine for my headache, how it will go and it will bind to the perfect target so that it will stop my head pain. So there must be some receptors, there must be some transporters, there must be some targets in our body. So that drug will go by the transporter and bind to that receptors and target the exact place where it is happening. So all these things we can learn, we can get the idea from the protein-protein interaction. Or other way you can say protein-protein interaction. By studying the protein-protein interactions, give us the overall idea of all these things. Okay, if I'm trying to co-localize something in the body, like where this is present, where this is absent, if my body is trying to secrete insulin or not, when it is need to secrete the insulin or glucose or glucagon. Okay, how all these things are getting controlled? All these things are getting controlled by the protein-protein interactions. There are many carrier proteins that is present in the body. If I'm trying to work, if I want trying to work, how I will work? Because my neuronal proteins will send message to the muscle. How it will send message to the muscle? Because in muscles, actin and myosin proteins are present. Muscle proteins are present. That will give information to the muscle proteins, so that the muscle protein, when the muscle protein will activate, my muscle will activate, so that I can able to walk or run. So all these ideas gives us from the get us from the protein-protein interaction. Okay, so how we gonna identify the two proteins are interacting or not? So there are different methods we have to follow, in vivo, in vitro also, in laboratory also, in living system also. So these methods are biochemical methods, biophysical methods, and computational methods. In biochemical methods, what are there? There is three things. Many things are there, but I have explained here three things. One is H2 hybrid, co-immunoprecipitation, pull down acid. In biophysical method, FRET, dynamic light scattering, and in computational method, protein-protein docking and network analysis. This is protein-protein docking. This is a very high method, like we have to perform it in computer. That's in silico. Through software, we have to take the protein structure and we have to dock it in the software. Then we have to understand which is the binding site, which is the ligand site, they are binding or not. And one second is biophysical method, that is dynamic light scattering, like FRET, FRET is Foster resonance image transfer. We all know about wavelength, absorbance, okay, scattering, light scattering. So these methods we have to follow. And in biophysical methods, H2 hybrid. H2 hybrid is one of the common method that we are following. Pull down assay is one of the common method that also we are following. So here I'm going to explain you the biochemical methods, that is pull down assay. Okay. Yeah. Pull down assay. Pull down assay. This is very common method we are going to study it. We are going to identify the protein-protein interactions. So it is an in vitro assay. In vitro assay means we have to perform it in laboratory. Okay. So what happens? We have to check the physical interaction between two or more proteins. Bread protein is used instead of an antibody. Pull down assays are ideal for studying strong and stable interactions. Like if the interaction is strong, like they're interacting too strongly with each other, two proteins are binding to each other very strongly, and there is a stable interaction. Like the interaction is stable, not unstable. So there we have to perform what? The pull down assay. Okay. So how we have to perform this? For this, a wet protein is tagged. Suppose I am going to study the interaction between protein Y and protein X. So one of them is wet protein. So that protein is tagged and captured in an immobilized affinity ligand for a specific tag. Then what happens? Then this specific protein interacts with the wet protein will also be captured. Like if I have tagged protein Y, protein X with yellow color, and I captured it. Okay, so I am going to check its interaction with protein Y. So if these two proteins are interacting, then when I purify these two proteins, then they will come together, right? Protein Y and protein X will come together. And when they come together, I will get the yellow color because I have tagged it with yellow color, right? If they are not interacting, then it will not come. It will not come, so that even I am also not able to get the color, so that I can be sure that these two proteins are not interacting. Then what I have to do? I have to elute the protein using competitive assay, low pH or reducing buffer. Then I have to run it in complex SDS beds. SDS is sulfate dadosyl, sodium dadosyl sulfate beds. This is a protein purifying gel. Okay. Then we have to do Western blot, then MALDI, mass spectroscopy, for knowing the protein quantity, like what is the weight of the protein. Okay, Western blot if these two are interacting or not. Okay, so this is the complete process, image visual of all this process. Okay, so this is the affinity ligand, this is the bed protein. Okay, so what I have to do? I have to ligate it. I have to ligate it. Okay, with the bed protein. Bed protein is ligated to this, washed away with unbound protein, then bind with prey protein. Like, okay, this is the prey protein, this is the bed protein. I have to study, I have to going to check this bed protein or prey protein are interacting or not. Okay, for that I have to attach this tag with the bed protein. Then again I have to wash it. Okay, then again I have eluted it. Okay, so eluted it. When I eluted, the tag came out. If these two proteins are interacting, they come out together. If these two proteins are not interacting, they will not come out together. Then when I have to check it on SDS page. Okay, so these are the markers: purified bed, address cell control, purified protein-protein interaction. This is the bed and this is the prey. Okay, from this we can able to know that these two proteins are interacting or not. So there are many things behind this, but simply here I have explained how these two proteins are interacting, or how we're gonna check the two proteins are interacting or not. Okay, so I know there may be some doubts to you, but for time being, let us learn this much only. Thank you very much.